3 large eggs, and a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. And I used Aldi's. I often use Libby's, but this is pretty good tasting for the price. I'll leave the price in the show notes. Okay, and then you'll need a half a cup of brown sugar, a cup of granulated sugar, and a cup of neutral oil. So I know many people have stopped using certain oils and such, but once in a while, if you're going to make a cake or whatever, now with cake I sometimes substitute that with applesauce, but with these pumpkin bars I have tried the applesauce and it did not work. I don't know what other oil would work, so I just use Great Value vegetable oil, and I only have pumpkin bars twice a year, so, and I'm not dead yet, and I'm almost 61, so I'm going to count that as good news, and I'm going to go on with my pumpkin bars. And a teaspoon of good vanilla. I happen to get mine at Thrive Market, but you can get good vanilla at like foodie stores, where they sell the higher priced ingredients, or gourmet stores. I don't think you can get any real vanilla at Walmart, but I could be wrong because I bought it from Thrive for so long. Or you can make your own. There are a lot of recipes out there. I have a friend that makes me some every Christmas out of, I think she orders vanilla beans from some far off country, and she uses either brandy or vodka. So there are recipes online for good vanilla. And you might not be able to see it, but there is a half a teaspoon of salt, and I like putting that in before I put in the baking sodas or powders and flour. So half a teaspoon of salt. And then 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So to go over the ingredients again, it is a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree, 3 large eggs, 1 cup of neutral oil, a half a cup of brown sugar, a full cup of granulated sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of baking soda. I hope I remembered all of them. I'll have it in the show notes, but that is the recipe. And at the very end, once I get this stirred in, I put in a little bit of cinnamon and a little bit of nutmeg. So I put about a teaspoon of cinnamon and a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Now we're ready to stir that in and put it in our pans. Okay, and here is the batter in the pans, and we'll be able to see how thick the pumpkin bar is in these 8x8 pans. A thinner one, I suppose, 9x9. You wouldn't want it any bigger than that with the amount of ingredients that I've gone over. But the last time that I baked these, I used just this pan, and I got quite almost a cake-like pumpkin bar. So we're going to split it in half. We're going to go with 2 smaller pans. We're going to put it into a 350-degree oven. Of course, glass bakes different than the dark aluminum or dark metal, so we're going to have to check with, I always do the toothpick check. If it comes out clean, they're done. And then I just put them on a cooling rack for 10 or 15 minutes till the bars are cool, maybe a little bit longer, seeing as this is still pretty hot in the house. So let them cool down until you can frost them, and I'll have the frosting or the icing recipe in the show notes. So 2 pans is what I got out of that recipe into a 350-degree oven for approximately 30 minutes, but I am going to check them at 22 minutes. It's just a favorite time for me to check them. All total, this takes just under an hour to make this recipe, about 20-25 minutes to just get all the ingredients together and stirred. I did not use a mixer, and anywhere from 22 to 30 minutes to bake them.